Hey, everybody. Michelle is here. I just finished having my breakfast lunch. And like I said, I like to try to eat as much as I can throughout the day so that when I lay down at night, I don't have so much on my stomach. Because I enjoy eating. Breakfast is one of my favorites, but lunch and dinner, and the atmosphere and this and that and the other makes it so important too that you treat people that are serving you with love and kindness, because that energy does flow into your food, by the way, flow into your drinks, by the way. So you don't want to be rude to people that's serving you. As a matter of fact, if I am with somebody and they're carrying on like that, chances are I may want us to leave the restaurant, because when you start carrying on against a waiter and carrying on against a manager, it affects the energy, and you don't want all that energy in your food, because everything's energy. Even your food that you eat is energy. So you just want to be kind to people serving you. And if you don't feel as though they are being kind to you and gentle, get up and leave. Do not sit around and argue with that. Just kindly get up and leave and find somewhere else to dine. Um, and keep energy flowing. I remember I used to love going to this Thai restaurant. That was in the old area where I lived, and man, it was not always crowded, which was nice. And I usually do not like showing up in someone's restaurant just when they're about to close. I think that's the wrong time to do that, because these people have been on their feet all day. They've been dealing with stuff all day, and then to come in there when they're about to close, I don't like doing that. And so I'd rather be in there at a decent time, just before the sun goes down. It's perfect. Sit there and watch the sun go down, together, or or when the sun goes down. That way, it'll be nice to walk it off. Be able to walk somewhere, walk to a park, and walk off the food, talk and have a conversation. You have to visualize this type of stuff, and I do. I visualize myself sitting at a nice restaurant, and the nice sounds in the background, a nice cool evening, flowing of wind and trees, and I can hear traffic, I hear people talking, hear people laughing. So you have to be very, very vivid like that. And again, if you have a hard time visualizing, because a lot of auditories may have a hard time visualizing, and people in their feelings may not. So, but you can always go, like I said, go to a place in your area, and just if you can, have a seat outside, and drink something or have something, and just kind of take it all in. And that way, when you do meditate, when you are visualizing, meditation via visualization, you can visualize it. But when you're having no thought, of course, no thought. So there's several levels of meditation. No thought means no thought. But you can have a visualization meditation, and that's more like a wishful contemplation of your destiny, or your future, blah, 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 blah. You can do that as well. Just look it up, visualization. A lot of people do visualization. There's so many, like I said, so many teachers out there. Just don't fall for the manipulations. That's all. Just use your discerning skills very well. And don't let people promise stuff to you, saying that this can happen for you, that can happen for you. Just know that certain things do work, and it's based on how you're thinking about it. Okay, what your thoughts are. You want to always, like I said, clear up contradictions. Okay, and clear up, get your beliefs in order, or eliminate them. I say eliminate them, but get them in order. I think I put it in a video. Write down what your beliefs are, and ask yourself, why do I have these beliefs? The same thing about being self-righteous. Why do I think I'm self-righteous? Why, what is it about me that's so, so important, more, over everybody else? Bring your self-righteousness to righteousness, because it's not about you. But be gentle about all that stuff. Because some people have had this themselves programmed and manipulated and indoctrinated for decades. Okay, so and question your supernatural. I mean, ask yourself, okay, why do I have these supernatural beliefs? Can I recreate it right now? If somebody says, I believe I can fly, can I fly right now? So you got to be really honest with yourself and get yourself grounded in reality. Um, and just enjoy the moments. Stay with it. Stay now, and make sure you know how you're walking, where you're walking, what you're saying, what you're hearing. Stay grounded and enjoy yourself too. And I was just talking to one of my relatives. He's finally moved over to the West Coast. So I plan to visit him over there at some point just to see how he's set up and whether I like it over there myself. So yeah, I was just going back and forth with one of my relatives, and he's out of Florida and he's over to the West Coast. And so that's another thing that's going to happen too. A lot of people are going to be shifting around, meaning they're going to be they're going to be shifting around. That should be obvious. Some people are going to just start congregating and moving around, and they're going to separate into more like-mindedness. People are going to start separating into more like-mindedness, and we ought to not interfere with all the time with what people's decisions are. A lot of people have to make their own decisions and think for their own selves for change. A lot of us are not. We let the politicians talk for us. We let these business owners talk for us. We let so-called crusaders talk for us. We let pastors and ministers as well think for us. It's okay to have people teaching you, but at the end of the day, you need to apply those lessons and see if those lessons are resonate with you and can make an impact. Because we are always going to need to be taught. Nobody is ever out of learning anything. So beware of that. Beware of that kind of thinking that I don't need to learn anything. You do. And you need to, go to teachers that are, you want them to be kind. You want them to be direct. You want them, most importantly, to be honest with you. Okay, and kind of stop you out of your indoctrination and you're being in a trance. A lot of people are in a trance, and that means they're unconscious and they're just kind of regurgitating and not even hearing their own self. They just love the sound of their voice. They're not feeling themselves because they're all trapped in their emotions and feelings, and then they're not paying attention to the vision because they're in delusion, and they don't understand that they're being inappropriate with the contradictions. That happens a lot with people with mental illness. They are just inappropriate and do not understand contradictions. And that's how they get themselves in these messiah complexes, or messiah concepts. I'm God, and this carrying on, and that's all ego, but delusion as well. Okay, so we all individually have a lot of work to do. A lot. So like I said, some people are going to have to shift around. They're going to have to move around and get settled somewhere else. And more specifically with like-mindedness. That's how the energy is going to bring you together, whether you like it or not. Okay, this is where we are in this stage of our evolution of the planet and their energy. The evolution of the planet and the evolution of the planet and the energy can care less about human beings, to be honest with you. Okay, because this planet does not need human beings at all. Okay, so nature is taking over, as I said, and they're not going to allow nature. These are my theories and opinion as I meditate and what information comes to me, but I have to say it in a language that people understand me. That's why I say talk in a certain way, because I don't want to be talking all over you like I'm some shit or something. A lot of people do that. Just using language. Nobody has no goddamn idea what they're talking about. And they think they're so intelligent, and they're just nothing more, nothing less than talking head intellectuals. That's all they are. They're talking from their head. They probably have no experience about what the hell they're talking about. Guaranteed. So, but you can see people shifting, like I said. And it's shifting because of the energy of the planet. The planet is making that happen. Okay? They're going to put you in where you need to be. Whether you like it or not. You're going to be where you need to be. Okay? And start reaping what you've sown. And that's not a threat. That's cause and effect, which is neutral. It's a neutral process. So because trust me, we've wiped out enough. And a lot of people want to, like I said, talk out of their heads, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, and they want to claim this is not happening, that and that's not happening. Well, of course, if you're sitting in one area of this huge planet, of course you may not know that it's overpopulated. Or of course you may not know that there's some climate dangers. Or of course you may not know that there's some issues with the atmosphere and why people are having trouble breathing and this and that and the other. Okay, because we cannot logically be everywhere all at once or see everything from a big picture of Earth all at once. Even those people that fly around in the shuttles and in the space stations up there, it takes them a while to get a full grasp of this planet because it's huge. All right, so things can be happening down at the bottom of the planet. We'll never know about. Not that we'll never know about it, but it may be years before we know that something happened here. Okay, some stuff is happening inside the planet. A lot of resources are drained to the bit, to where there's nothing left, and we're solid. We're a solid piece of rock called planet Earth. And so you're telling me that that planet Earth cannot be destroyed because of a lot of footprints? And when I say we're overpopulated, I'm not just saying people. I'm saying our toys, our cars, our buildings, the concrete that we place on the, the pavement, the asphalt that's everywhere, bridges, equipment, okay, the storing of all of this equipment. Okay, so it's not just, so we're overpopulated. And I'm not just saying with people, with everything. Okay, and we're not recycling or regenerating, trees and animals. We're wiping out all of that, insects. And a lot of it is just arrogance and greed and these talking head intellectuals who have no idea what they're talking about. They've been in their one little spot of the world all their life. But yet they can tell you about the workings of the planet? Give me a break. Anyway, we'll leave that for another day. How about that? So anyway, be completely honest with yourself and use force but non-force. And understand what I mean, force but non-force. That means you snapping yourself out of your trance. A lot of us are in a trance. And we need to snap out of it and get a grip. Okay, before we start sliding off a planet, literally. And wondering, where the hell am I? And what did I do? Because a lot of people are going to ask those questions. Trust me. What did I do here? And how do I end up here? Okay, so hopefully that's some inspiration for this Friday. It's time to get honest and be, like I said, forcefully unforced and snap out of it. Okay, so I'm going to send peace and love, and of course, me, I'll be back